This is why you get in line early. Right here. There is standing room only. Period.
And now there's no there's some people in line now that can't get in.
Yep. This is not the first time I've had to stand. Hopefully they'll be here in a minute. Come on. Somebody hit a communicator button and they'll show up.
There it is.
Yep. Wonder how long it takes to teleport from one room to the next. Come on. I will probably have to pause here in a minute. But they're not letting anybody else in because there's no more room.
That way.
There's Paul. Yay!
This panel could use some more Vulcan Skull.
Yeah!
I mean, look at the ceiling, I'm the one that's on time. Where's the world coming to?
Hi guys. What's up?
What's that? Woo!
Thanks for coming today. Our pleasure. These people don't want any attention brought to themselves. So please don't stare.
And there's Jason. Woo!
Dr. Jason Andrew Murray, PhD. Are the other actors coming? Who needs that? Let's get a very quick micro Vulcan Skull panel.
Yay!
So, Mary, if I could ask you about your very first time professionally, what did it feel like? What was going on inside? Very interesting.
And that was a revelation for me.
Those are immortal words.
Well, fire. Can I turn to correctly? When you first acted with fire, could you please explain to me how that actually affected you as an actor when you got older?
Well, usually when I'm burning, Nakia Paris and Kat, Uncle Lynn, say hi.
It's all you guys did.
You guys entertaining everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very silly. They're very silly and very loud, aren't they? How's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for coming out today. We have enjoyed meeting all of you, and I hope to meet even more of you. So my name is Nakia Paris. I play Tanya in Zio and in Turbo.
Do you have a steady hand?
How you guys?
I don't.
Good? Yeah! Sam, you want to come up here? My little girl, she don't want to come up here now.
Aww.
You can't tell her. Haha. We're doing good. Thank you guys for coming today. We appreciate it. Good old Kentucky. So I was going to take my little girl on a horse, but it was raining. No, that's okay. I want to skydive out here with the weather.
At least you missed the tornadoes.
Lord, you guys had 6 inches of hail? How do you do that? Inches.
We wear helmets.
Well, the best way to deal with this is just throw it out the Not honest how nice things happen to your head in Kentucky. I do. Speaking of Tourette syndrome. Okay, so we'll throw this out to you now. Why don't we throw a question straight up? See what question? Paul Schreier. You have a question.
I'd like to ask Paul Schreier. Oh, wait. Anyone else?
Come on, guys. We got questions. All the questions, you guys, if you need any.
Sir.
An approach to the 20th anniversary.
Good question.
Have you been approached about the 20th anniversary season? No comment?
I'm all tatted up. I'm done.
Yeah, no.
Savon's probably scared of me. Who's all tatted up? Oh, it's a kid show.
Yeah, Savon hates tattoos. They believe children should never know that tattoos even exist. So if you have a tattoo, we ask you to leave now.
Okay, bye. No, the answer to that, I haven't. That's it.
It's the answer.
Yeah.
Have you? Have you?
There's a question in the back.
Come on,
I
you
think that
guys.
was me. No,
You're here somewhere? Okay, whatever.
That's
That's me. Okay. I noticed this great chemistry between Jason and Paul. And are you guys like in best friends, like in real life, similar to like the Zach Braff, the guy who played Kirk on Scrubs? The question is, are you a bromance?
have any tattoos, it's fine. Well, here's a great story. When we had done a play on the side, it was one that I had directed, and Paulie, with the director's opening night card, gave me a card that had a stork on it that was looking at me like this. And it said, "To my wife." So that answers your question.
That's sufficient.
Yeah.
Do we have any veterans of the Iraqi and Afghanistan conflicts here today? Any vets? Thank you.
But what?
I think Rangers are fun.
I haven't ever been to combat, but I have been on power.
Yeah.
And you know, when you spend months and months and years dedicating yourself to your art with people that you grow to tolerate,
You never tolerated me.
it's kind of like family. You know, you don't get to choose them in a way, and you make the best of it together. So are we best friends? I mean, there's nobody that I'm friends with on the level that Darby and I are friends. I mean, it's happened in my entire life. But it's because of the boots on the ground. You know, we didn't go to work to make Power Rangers. We went to work for each other, to amuse each other, and to do good work for each other on set. Just like soldiers, you know, and you know, they're committed to their buddies in the trench and not necessarily to the company.
Question?
Yeah, this is obviously for Tommy and Jason. Paul. Tell me something.
There's a lot of people on that scene. And you start.
Austin's up there too, yeah. So what kept bringing you back to the series? Because you guys are the longest recurring guys.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, well, you and...
That's like when I used to say, if people don't know me, I say, you reach Jason, David, Frank. They thought 3 people. So when I leave a message, if Jason or David or Frank would pick up the phone, so you can say Tommy, Jason, David, Frank. Okay. What made me go back?
What kept you all coming back? Because obviously, you know, there was more than just the show bringing you back. Like, what brought you back?
Well, I mean, I really, to be honest, the Dino Thunder wanted something for my little girl, Jenna, to watch, something updated and new. And I was helping one of my friends, Doug Sloan and Ann Knapp, to pick up ratings to Disney. And I just decided to go back and, you know, hit the spandex, not just on the weekends. So, you know, so I went back, Dino Thunder. And yeah, that was about that. You know? Instead of working the corners of Hollywood, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding, guys. I signed some porno thing before, and it says Tommy signs porno. It does, it says Tommy signs porno. Yes, on the YouTube, the guy's like, can you sign there? So of course, I picked the center spot, if you know what I mean, to sign. I was like, we're going to sign right here? All right, so I signed. And it says Tommy signs porno.
Have you been on the show? Have you all for still very long? Do you guys ever catch yourselves in the car in the shower actually singing the Power Rangers?
I probably know more now about Power Rangers doing conventions and with Facebook than I ever have in my whole entire life. I still have questions that I just can't answer. So when I'm stuck on questions, I'll always go, Paul, what do you think about that? Even if I don't understand what you're asking, I'll go, Paul.
I do that in meetings at work.
It works though, because then you can always like play it off, you know? Like, well, I was good. I was just wondering what you were thinking. You know?
Yes.
Two questions. Wait.
So first off, were those helmets ever restrictive and hard to breathe in?
We didn't wear the helmets.
Never did?
I did in the Power Rangers, like at first, I wanted to do everything. And then after a while, then I was like, no, I don't really want to do it. But I did because the Green Ranger had to add footage. So, I mean, it's just like you guys wearing those costumes around. And they're not custom made, it's just cheap. It's like fit in it. You know, fit in the little Japanese dude, fit in it. Squeeze your head in.
Oh, dude.
Sorry. For the Chinese people. Sorry, gosh. And Johnny's my friend, he's Chinese.
Dude! He's not Chinese.
Forget it. Tony's racist on YouTube.
On the same thread, what was the deal with, in the first season, the Black Ranger was black and the Asian Ranger was yellow?
Walter said something about that. Walter said that on the Japanese footage that the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger were best friends in the Japanese footage, so that's why they put them together. And then he just happened to be autistic.
And I think the other answer is stereotypes stick because they're stereotypes.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Come on, he's a businessman. I don't know, that's what he said. And honestly, it was one of those things that we just didn't even think about. It was like, who cares? You know, after a while, people started talking about it. And then I started realizing, like, he is the Black Ranger. What the? Jeez, yo, what? On the white Ranger.
Dude, look at Zach's wardrobe in the first season. He was the Black Power.
Sure, they did. A lot of Malcolm's hats and stuff like that. Because
I mean, periodically walk and be like, why?
yeah, give a lot of
He fought some of the outfits that were just over the top for him. Because he wanted him to be, he wanted the character to really live, in the series.
Question back there. Okay, this one is also for Jason. What is the craziest thing that a female fan has ever done?
I can't say that to little girls right now.
Oh!
I've done crazy stuff. No, I don't. All right, chocolate chip cookies with tampon in it. Sorry, I said it. Tony said chocolate chip cookies with tampon. I'm honest. I told you I'm honest. Well, you asked. You would say anything. It was like, I dare you, triple dare, double dare you. Paul, sit down. You're not going nowhere. He's like, I'm still on the show. Ratings are. Well, I don't want you doing shows with Jason no more.
There's no more. I have no budget for it myself. How can I say you did?
Question?
Is there anything you guys would influence for?
No, of course. Yeah, we grew up with.
Well, like what? Is there like one thing?
I love G.I. Joe and, He-Man and stuff I watched when I was a kid. I kind of like Strawberry Shortcake a little. And Strawberry Shortcake has some really hot friends, actually. But Blue Muffin in it.
I was kind of into My Little Ponies. I was the opposite.
I liked He-Man and She-Ra. I was always She-Ra.
Yeah.
And I liked Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Got quiet. Question? Yes.
This goes toward any of you.
Love the shirt.
For sure.
What is one of the most memorable moments as portraying or filming a Power Rangers?
Okay, I've got to ask.
I'm kind of snapped now. After the show, snap. What's wrong with him?
You know, I think when our last episode for me was like an oh snap because it felt so dramatic because it all sunk in like, wow, this is my last episode on the show. This was my first series. Am I going to see these people anymore? And Kat and I were trying to get through it, and tears were passing our words away. I think that was like a little snap. Okay, so
Good
what
grief.
am I going to do after Power Rangers? I'm off the series. What am I going to do next? So that was kind of like a little snap, to be honest.
I got very irritated when they asked me to read with the person that was going to replace me.
Bad form.
Yeah.
I don't have a steady hand.
My PowerPoint, TJ was like, peace.
Just so you know.
I should have a better answer for that question. Hey, you remember what's your favorite moment of the show?
No, there was this one time when we did that live show at Universal Studios. We walked out on stage and it was in the Universal Amphitheater and there were 10,000 people in there and they'd shut down freeways. It was like news choppers like, welcome to screwed up and when we walked out on stage and they gave us like these $5,000 microphones, they were like, these microphones are very expensive. Please don't break them. Nervy and Airline.
It sounds like
We had to like fall down. And the minute we walked out on stage and I started to say the first line, because I always have the first line, flash bulbs, like your entire field of vision. And we were like, but we looked at each other, and now that's what it must be like for like Elvis or the Beatles. Or on that level, it was humongous. And then I fell down and broke the mic.
Regina. Regina.
Just ask them.
Why y'all look at me?
They asked something about pranks.
I couldn't. I had no keys. I had no keys in my vehicles. They didn't give me the keys to stuff.
He used to take off on the jet skis. He was always doing crazy stuff.
I remember being that the episode in the snow. Me and my brother,
thank
we were filming, so he's like, "Let's go off the cliff." And we we're gone, man. Like you'd think you could find your way back, but like snow is snow, and they all look the same. We were gone for a while. We're like, oops, where are we at?
What was your question?
We were gone for a while.
Yeah, they asked him.
I guess this wasn't really a prank. I remember a time where everyone just wanted to hit each other on stage.
You got it.
That's it. And so, Holly got to science when you roll, what you do is you roll the cameras for like 3 or 4 seconds before you actually call action. Because you roll the cameras, you do slate, you say set, ready, and then you go action. So what Holly would do is between the time you start rolling and say action, you time it just enough that you can go, action! Yeah, scarf and time! It just kept getting funnier every time. I'm looking up once. I'm getting ready for the scene, and I look up and I see Holly in mid-flight like this.
Question?
Yes, I grew up watching movies with everyone else as kids, but it was extra special because my little boy likes to stick it up. And he was stick lock when he was little. He loved Power Rangers. And he always liked more things.
Hold there for a minute.
Pick up on things and do them exactly the way you do. So I was wondering if, like, you wanted to
I didn't know.
Which one? I don't remember. I'll just do a turbo because that was the one I made fun of. I was like, what were you turn to the left? And yeah, that's a good one. I remember like coming up with one like, yeah, no, what were you turn to the left? Yeah, so I was like, all right, good.
More than that!
And that was it. Easy. Yeah. Good. want me to like, I'll do the standard because that's the easiest.
Either one.
Mighty Morphin.
Morphin' time!
That might have been an added well, back up.
He mixed the two.
I'm a leader. Just come back. I'm joking. Not really. That blocked the shoulder. I remember with Dave Yost, he used to get so mad at me because there's lighting, and so I'd always block his light. But if you ever watch Dave in the scenes, like when we're doing, his muscles flex. He always flexes muscle and he tries to get his arm shot. But I would never fail. I'd always block his light. He's like, dude, get out of my light. Like, turn the light. For real. Light. Get out of my light. Turn the light. Dave paid me back. He's like, oh, back there. Switching it. Thanks, Dave Yost. Well, we'll get through the questions.
And here's the reason we lost light right here.
Yeah, we'll do it after the recording.
Let me ask you guys, now honestly, do you have some of your own figures?
Yes.
All right.
When I got the fix, I tried to eliminate the skull figure as many ways as I could, and so I bought like 100 every day. I would like heat up needles.
Voodoo.
Fried it. I brought it in, cut up it, mixed into salad.
He's really serious.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw it, we didn't even know they were going to do action figures with us. And we were in Australia, and someone had brought them to us. And I was like, hey, look, I'm your action figures. My first time I ever saw them. Oh my God, it's me! It's me! It's me! I'm alive! Oh, yeah! Takes lighter fluid, goes.
Question? Anyone?
93?
Me?
Yes.
This is so weird.
During the first Power Rangers movie, during the skydiving scene, were you all actually doing the skydiving?
No, I got into it. I wanted to, because I skydive now. And they wouldn't let me do anything. Because, if something happens to us, then there's $8 million, whatever it was. Production that was done at $6 million. The production that went down the hill, so they really, wouldn't let you do that stuff. But.
Remember, there's a million skydivers out there. There's only a few beautiful people.
Actually, USPA, there's only USPA, only 62,000 licensed skydivers in Army. Okay? Only 62,000 licensed skydiver USPA. You go to USPA.com. I didn't get paid for it. Yeah, I should have. No, okay. There is only 60,000 licensed skydivers. That's it.
How many beautiful people are there?
People's most beautiful people.
Probably just one. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Of course. Of course. Marty. Sorry. I'm not talking to you. Forget it. I'm not talking to you. You can do it. Put your back.
Right here?
I got it if you don't.
Accidents or injuries that most that recall.
I punched a couple people. I got punched, just in. Because I didn't come in as a martial artist. I'm not a martial artist. I came in pretty much as a dancer, just flexible or whatever. So when we did Turbo, we had to learn, we had to learn different, whatever. I can't even think. Karate styles and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there were a couple of accidents. It was fun. I loved fighting. I didn't get a chance to go out of it.
I know you guys, all that theater stuff. Swords, you guys have to. Huh? We don't act on Power Rangers. No, that's all. You guys, they were physical. Like, weren't you like?
Okay, you have a question?
Yeah, like all that stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah.
It was like stunt double, but never mind. Go.
Yeah, no, we still have all those swords, and we trade them back and forth like a child custody arrangement.
LA, I had to make sure that all I got is one sword back. Did you get it back, by the way? Child's been kidnapped. At a convention.
Right here? Oh.
There's also that one part of that.
Timothy, right?
Jason, Chad, and Nikki, would you be willing to come back for another like reunion season?
If they paid us SAG rates.
Yeah.
Your skills.
And we got residuals.
It's not gonna happen. You know, I mean, it won't. It's not. I don't like it. I think Haim Saban's very silly to not take those Rangers that we were and make a Dark Knight series out of it for you guys.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. You don't need another billion. You know what I mean? But it would be nice if they did something like that, a little bit more darkish. You would use those characters, take the White Ranger back, make it like, you know, Batman and stuff. That's cool, as long as you punch somebody in the face. When I was watching the pilot, I thought it was cool because he was in the pilot and got kicked by Austin in the bowling alley. So I thought that was awesome, but then we couldn't hit people in the face, like humans. So I was tired of fighting bugs. I just want to punch them. Give me something to break.
Yeah. Woo!
That guy in the car back has been waiting for this guy a while.
That guy.
Okay.
No, the other guy. I'm just kidding.
Since you all have been on multiple series, which one has actually been your favorite? Which I know all of you have been on multiple series of Power Rangers. Which one's your favorite to know?
I've been on the least. I've only been in 2 seasons, Zeo and Turbo, and I would say, I like certain aspects of both. Zeo I liked because that's where I started, so I had a little bit more of a storyline. But Turbo, I got a chance to fight outside of the costume. Well, I didn't fight in the costume. I got a chance to fight, so I like them both. But I would say, because I had an actual kind of storyline in Zeo, I like Zeo better.
I liked when I first came on because I got to be bad. That was fun. And I thought Zeo had some pretty good storylines. I liked them all for different reasons. Turbo was probably my least favorite. Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, the Green Ranger was nice, but I thought it was so funny, like when I became the White Ranger, because it was like, it's me. That's why I like that part. That's it. Well, there you go, Austin. I was kidding. I'll take a speech later.
Well, I would say Zeo, since everyone here was in Zeo with us, so being around the set is more fun. But we were around you guys far less during Zeo than any other series. I'd have to say Mighty Morphin because for us, we were still innovating. They didn't know what to do, so they didn't say put on the brakes. They said keep going. So I think that was it. We were finding some really stuff that we actually were proud of that was above and beyond, this schlock, so to speak.
Yeah. He said.
Is there any chance we're going to see Dr. Hardy on the camera?
Well, I think you'll have to wait and watch and see. Because the future answers all questions.
Maybe.
Question over there?
I talked to Kia earlier about Christianity. Jason, you started that clothing line and stuff. I was just curious when and how Christ came into your life.
Oh, I talked to you. Are you asking me or asking Jason?
I didn't know that several of you guys. I mean, it's my first time.
I've been a Christian
people to think about their eternity. So I've known God since I was young.
Yeah, probably about 2001. I wanted to be the first something, so the first Christian line of MMA clothing. So I represented a lot of fighters, but the fighters kind of was seeking me out, like the Aldo Alves, all these people, Matt Hughes, all these other people that were wanting to be sponsored. Every time before the cage or before the ring, they would, pray and get into a circle and stuff. So I thought it was going to be great to add to that. It was I struggled getting Jesus into this stuff, but again, my clothing line is Christian based, but it's up to you all where you all going to take it from. You know what I mean? And my beliefs are my beliefs. I have my relationship with God's personal, and it should be the same way with you guys. But like I tell people, I'll do interviews. I'll be open. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to slam you in the corner. I used to know a lot of ministers and pastors that do that to me and say, "Well, that's not. I just don't like it. I don't like to be told that." One time I said religion. It's not religion, man. It's a relationship. First of all, don't talk to me like that. George Foreman was he goes to his church, and I like his church because he's a fighter, and he'll tell you when he's preaching, "I will take my big hand, smack you upside the head." So I listen to George Foreman. I'm like, "Yeah, he's pretty cool. I kind of like that. He's taking a smack." Like when he would chew gum. You still smacks gum. You still smack gum.
I still do.
I know you do.
Well, my hates me for it.
Jenna smacks. I thought I wanted to smack. Yes, baby. You
Okay to smack them.
Jenna, what's your question? For Vulcan Skull. All right, thanks. I got it. Go ahead. That's okay, baby. Yes.
That would be my own Power Rangers movie, so yes. That would be the very first one when your dad was young and smooth.
That's the one they jumped out of the airplane, baby, without strapping their parachute. Let's go! It was like, you're still an Andrew already.
How did you have such a sweet, innocent child?
It's kind of like the yin and yang. The yin and yang. Evil good. That hurt, she said.
Yes.
What's a VCR?
Yeah, I know, VCR. I signed a couple of trusts.
Oops, sorry.
High technology, VHS display.
So absolutely. I mean, we looked at all great physical comics because we realized we had golden opportunities to do the kind of work that needed to be done. People hurting themselves for your amusement. And it really, it's a masterful kind of, it's a very unique vein of performance. And most of us just do it when we're at home trying to make a sandwich. There's got a camera filming us, stabbing ourselves or dropping stuff on our faces. Frozen, and then, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital. Okay,
Jason, Paul, I gotta ask, is there something that do you have a favorite food that you got dumped on you?
It didn't make it to us. Okay? There were some bad ones. I mean, one of the stranger ones was the sandwich, the giant sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Because then we smelled like a rotten salad for the rest of the day. I remember once, and there wasn't one that fell on him, I was supposed to dump a bunch of barbecue sauce, a bunch of suntan lotion on your back. But it was mayonnaise.
Oh.
You would think they would substitute the mayonnaise for suntan lotion for the purposes of filming. But they didn't. They used yogurt instead. So we're out in the sun at the beach making yogurt on Paulie's back. having to hit family emergencies? Good question. Yeah. I feel like, yeah.
It's like a job, you know, and you have to. It's the way it is. I think Jake was been born or something. I don't know. I told him how to do an episode. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure in television to be there. Because you imagine the amount of resources and planning that have gone into shooting a show, it's significant. And if somebody gets a toothache, like that's not to blow $5 million, you know. And so the producers will do really wacky stuff sometimes. You know, because we were always very professional, we would show up, you know. But I mean, there are some actors that we know that are famous that have a real hard time getting to work, or maybe are drinking a little much, or doing, you know, whatever. They'll send people to find them. Physically, they will bring them back and dress them and slap them, stick them in front of the camera, and say, go.
I got when we were shooting Turbo, I got robbed at gunpoint, and yeah, it wasn't very fun. And I called the producer, and you know, it was really obviously very traumatic. And okay, well, you take as long as you need, but when you just see your and I had to go to work in the afternoon. Yeah.
In 1992, there was an earthquake in Los Angeles. You might have seen it. Freeways fell down.
In fact,
we had to go to work.
Yeah, well, that's a funnier thing. We were changing studios. And it just so happens that, that the same week. And the freeway that we needed to take to get to the new studio collapsed. Literally collapsed. Live source. And we had to drive in. I remember it took us 4 hours for a drive that normally takes 10 minutes. Totally.
See, there was a fire in Stevenson's Ranch, and I have a karate school, and I was in New Zealand filming Dino Thunder. My guy called me, said, "Sir, everything's on fire." I said, "Okay, how close is it to my school?" And they said, "Well, you know, it's really close. Ashes are coming." I said, "Well, you guys stay open, right?" And I said, "Is Chuck E. Cheese open?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "If Chuck E. Cheese is open, you stay open." And all my guys were so mad at me. "Okay, well, we could have burned." I said, "No, once Chuck E. Cheese closes, and then you close." So maybe that's where I learned how to Chuck E. And then, they're like, and it was close. Like, I saw pictures, and I couldn't believe it. But, you know, when I saw it, of course, I wasn't like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, guys." I was like, "You go down with the ship." Titanic goes down, you go down. We open no matter what. My guys at my karate schools never get sick. It's great. I mean, they get sick, but I'm not. Maybe I learned it from hunting. Like, then they come, they're like, "Oh, I'm fine, sir. I'm fine." I told black belts don't get sick, dude. Black belts don't get sick for years and years. Of course, when I'm sick, I call them because I have employees. But you know, and they're like, "Line up, everybody." Of course, I'm lazy, so I'm just like, "You're doing good, dude. You're doing good. Hold it, hold it."
I remember one time Molly was so sick. I remember it was, "Ready, rolling, and yeah, I remember that.
And you can see the episode too. It's the episode that was shot in Kennecott Park, which was the Four Seasons Park, not the Cascade location, but the other one, the weirder, darker kind of vegetation. And I was in a wet suit with my clothes over it, and it was in a duck pond that reeked of duck voodoo. And I was huge, so bad. And of course, I don't know if any of you have ever tried to wear wetsuits. Rubber memory. And when you're a rotund fellow, such as myself, you have to be rotund. After you squeeze into that sausage festival, every move you try to make, you're acting right. The suit is forcing you back into the shape. Because it's it's like this much of neoprene and it's queen size. So that was the day that I was ill. And like the outtakes from that where I'm fighting to stay underwater because I'm like buoyant in the wetsuit. I can't and then in the script I'm supposed to go down and then come up and go, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," but I couldn't stay under. Every time I try to go under, I'd be like, "Oh God." So and I think Skull is on the shore in that scene, and so just look at the green color. That's my favorite.
Did you get stitches in your face?
Oh, yeah. I have a Band-Aid on my face, like Nelly, because I was cool back in the time. But I was in a mosh pit. My friends, Shavo at the time, they're not friends anymore, they're big time, Sisters of the Down. I saw them, they gave me this is how old I am, a cassette of their demo. And I was in a mosh pit. And, of course, someone pushed me, and I was like, "Who pushed me?" And So I got cut pretty deep on my eye, and I was like mad. I had blood. You know, if you ever get cut in the face, you're gonna bleed a lot. And so I was bleeding and all this stuff. So I got stitches, and you know, we had a bandage in the episode. I'm like, yeah, I never explained it, but I remember talking to Jonathan. He's like, come here. He's like, what were you doing? I said, mosh pit. He's like, what? What are you doing? I said, bounce around, hit people. He's like, for what? I was like, I guess for fun. But yeah, that was, you know, just put a band-aid on it and just like Nelly stuff.
David goes busted his nose first season. He got a broken nose. He almost said, I think he even had to get his job. He busted, he got his nose busted. Straight up, I know, dude. Yeah, come back.
How much when you were filming your episodes involved voiceovers, and how much of it was live acting? Like when you had the Japanese, when you had to overdub the Japanese.
It was all voiceovers. We had it, you know.
Anytime you don't see us on camera talking, it's ADR or like.
So how much would you say in an episode was like percentage wise? Half and half.
You can kind of tell, you know, when the audio doesn't match the, you know, when you're quite, it happens because of airplanes and firecrackers and you guys.
The Rita effect.
There's a guy 3/4 of the way back.
Not really, because Disney's cheap too, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just being honest with you. And they put the billing under Roadside Village, and Disney was kind of like, I remember going back to Dino saying, why? Well, Disney really don't claim it. It just was weird. I don't know, but
hold this for a minute.
You know,
there's
I know
actually
why.
2 seats open up there.
What's her name? The drug rehab? Yeah, Logan. I know why she left Disney, but anyway. But you know, it was all right. I wish I worked with the people Paulie's working with because I feel a little bit more comfortable going out there working with all new people. Koichi was great to work with, but all new people it just seemed like they didn't know what they were. I mean, I know we got a producer, the guy who did Mork and Mindy. I'm like, great. What are you going to do? One of the guys that worked on Mork and Mindy, they don't know clue of Power Rangers. I mean, you know, now they're keeping the cast. I don't know what they're doing. I haven't followed the show because I changed the state channel, no offense. But my girl's only allowed to watch seasons I'm in. But they have a format, you know, and I remember everyone saying it's cheesy, but what do kids eat? Kids eat string cheese, they love string cheese, and they love cheese sandwiches. So it's just, you eat it, you eat up the cheese.
Coincidence? I think not.
Thank you.
Question over here. Who is your favorite villain fight and the least favorite villain fight? Favorite bad guy, generic, drug, whatever.
I like David Tops. I didn't really fight her, but all the people.
I think Rita and Lexington were the best ones to show.
You can see it in the video. I whisper. I don't know, like, as far as battling them, like, I don't really remember.
Sweetie.
I mean, I like Lord
Camera's
Deputy
running dead.
Neil.
Huh? The camera's running dead.
Like, I kind of was known through the costume. You guys know him as Lord Dead, and then that little dude, Robert, that does the voice. Oh, yeah, Robert does the voice. I don't really know him. I know Ed, so I like working with Ed. He thought he was the voice inside the window. And I was just like, Randy R, dude. Randy R, you're working way too hard. He's like, oh, Ranger! But it gave us stuff. Yeah. I think so too. He was, big time.
I mean, a lot of people do that in the car when they're driving. Please don't stop believing. We give heart, you know? I like that.
Danny Wayne did the same thing, actually. Rita, you kind of do this pseudo Beetlejuice kind of thing with the character. They didn't know what they were going to do with the character in the film. There's a guy on this side, kind of straight in front of me. It's been like 38 minutes.
Anybody ever come on set drunk?
What?
No, not drunk.
You know,
Not drunk.
Like once in a while, I think the crew would have a birthday thing for somebody. It might come back, and then occasionally it's a well-known fact in show business. Wrapped beers are commonly something we look forward to very much. But when you crack a beer, you're done, right? And you're 21.
I didn't really drink all that much.
Not really.
We were just busy all the time, working, waking up early, right?
Yeah.
And just, you knew tomorrow was almost the same thing as it was today.
I mean, you get 6 hours of sleep, you're like, oh, I'm so refreshed. I mean, 4 hours, that was it. That's what you're sleeping every night.
That's why I sleep 4 hours.
So hurry up and wait the next day.
The very back?
This question is for everybody. Is this your first time in Kentucky?
My first time.
Yes.
Yes, sir, it is. A fine state.
Yes, they're very sweet.
Yes.
Y'all are all very sweet.
You know what? Gratuitous plug.
I'm going to be next week in Louisville, Kentucky at the Mother Lodge Festival, workshopping a production of Bluegrass Hamlet called Crawling Between Heaven and Earth. Please come to see it.
You got that right? I hope so.
Anybody else? Questions, miss? In the middle?
Hi, this is for Jason. Johnny was at the Comic Con in Puerto Rico last year.
First of all, never believe Johnny Bosch. So that's the first thing. Tired of Johnny telling stories.
What do you say? What do you say?
What do you say? Some dumb. He says stupid stuff. I gotta warn him every time. Yeah, Johnny, I'm talking to you. I gotta warn him. Because you confuse me with my brother. He's confusing the stories.